What is up, A team? Welcome back. Awesome here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day or night, depending on where you're at. But hope it is awesome. And yes, we are back at it today to talk more about some crypto. I have been off for a couple days trying to get some things going, but I am glad to be back. I'm glad to be streaming and excited to be here because we got a lot of things to talk about here. The markets are actually looking pretty damn good right now, starting to make a little bit of a comeback here. And again, when in doubt, please zoom out and look at the charts overall. I mean, when you start to look at the weekly chart, on a lot of these cryptos, on a lot of like XRP, Bitcoin, those kind of things, you're going to start to see that the markets are actually looking pretty damn good. And so again, a lot of these things are long-term holds. I get the people who are in here trying to buy day to day and they look at their charts and their portfolios day to day. I just want to say, relax, just take a deep breath. The markets will come back here. I do consider 2025 to still be a really, really good year. We talked about a lot of things. A lot of things have come up throughout the last month. I mean, we have tariffs. Obviously, the markets came down hot yesterday because of the tariff discussion with the automobiles and the automobile industry and all this kind of stuff. And we know that April 1st and 2nd is going to be a crazy day because that's when tariffs come into effect. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy set of events here. I just want to put it out there. But when in doubt, just zoom out and look at where you're at right now and just realize that here, even though it's not happening in your portfolio today, doesn't mean that in a year from now or 2 years from now, your portfolio is not going to look good. And so I get that sometimes our patience run thin. And sometimes we look at our portfolios every day. We wake up and, oh man, it's still in the red, or oh man, and it's not doing as well today. I've gone through that for years. I've done it for years. I've gone through it for years. And I just want to say that eventually your portfolio will start looking good and eventually things will start to flow. And when that day comes, it'll be the pain that you feel today will feel a lot better in the coming month and or year. So first off, I just want to say what's up to everyone here in the chat. We got a lot of people up here already. We got almost 300 people here watching. We got Tim Shea. What's up, Tim Shea? We got the Mayor Crypto in the house here. We got Seiko Hunt. What's up, Seiko Hunt? Soul, Jeffy, Autopops. What's up, guys? Appreciate you all being here today. I'm scrolling fast. We got Maria, Ian. Good to see you guys. Crypto Keeper. What's up? What's up? Crypto Keeper, thanks so much for the $20 super chat here. Good morning, Austin. Can you briefly go over what it looks like for a white paper? Or you talking about the token economics, stuff like that? Okay, we can do that. I could jump into that later in the stream here. I'll star your request here. I appreciate the super chat, and we'll definitely cover that at some point during this stream. After I get through the daily, whatever we want to talk about, I'll jump into maybe looking at a white paper on how I look at that. So yes, I will do that. And thanks again for the super chat, Crypto Keeper, and appreciate you being here, Joel. We got Lionheart in the house here. Selmo Fudd. What's up, Selmo? Good to see you, buddy. Gregor Price, Richard, Nicholas. Got Pipeline in the house here. What's going on, man? Shannon. We got Shannon in the house. What's up, Shannon? Stop sign, toolbox. All right. If I missed some of you, Hogzilla, I see Hogzilla. We got Jim coming in hot with a new membership. What's up, Jim? Appreciate you coming in, being a new member of the A team. You re-upped your membership here, so appreciate you doing that, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, we got Tony Punch. Everyone's here. Perfect. All right, let's jump into it. We got a lot of things to cover today, a lot of things to go over. As you guys can see right here, the cryptocurrency market is slightly up at a 0.21%. Over the last hour, I mean, the hour just turned over here, but I mean, things are starting to come back slightly here. Obviously, XRP dipped pretty good there. Bitcoin came back down, but Bitcoin's actually holding up pretty strong. Even over the last 24 hours, we're still up just almost a little less than 1% here, but I mean, still looking pretty good. HBAR slightly coming down over the last 24 hours, but still everything's kind of gone flat. Obviously, this came at the head of what everyone's talking about with the Trump's automobile. That's weird. Auto tariffs here, and it does suck every time tariffs are brought up. Every time we talk about tariffs. Anytime Trump decides to bring up some kind of, retaliatory tariff or whatever it might be, we seem to have issues when it comes to any market and or the crypto market. So that does suck. I will give him that. But there is some positivity here. And I've always said to you guys that when the whales start to buy and or if the whales are buying, that should be an indicator that you should be buying. So when the whales started buying last week or almost 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin was down here. You can see right here, Bitcoin was actually at 80,000, right? I put this marker at 80,000. This was a buying opportunity at 80,000. This is when the whales started to buy. I put this marker here as an indicator of when the whales were starting to purchase. And when I say the whales, we're talking about a lot of the ETFs out here. BlackRock is out here buying more and more Bitcoin every day. You can see right here, they have received over 100 million IBIT ETF inflows today. So over 100 million Bitcoin has coming in. BlackRock is buying. They were buying back here along with Fidelity and a lot of other ETF companies that are out there doing this. So You can see right now from where that indicator came in right here at this $80 mark, we are up roughly 8%. 8% is a pretty damn good return here in last, what is that, like 20 days? I know it doesn't sound crazy. It's not as sexy as a lot of other cryptos. I completely get that. But for being one of the largest asset classes out there in Bitcoin, to be up 8% in roughly 20 days is pretty damn good, if you ask me. So again, when the whales start to buy, we should start buying. You can see right now, BlackRock is buying. A lot more people are buying. One of the crazy things that's come out about this is right here. Look at this, guys. This is what's really, really cool. And this is why ETFs will continue to prosper. And this is why people will eventually start buying into more ETFs as they come. It says right here, currently a stat with Bitcoin trading around 87K while the ETF realized price is at 72.5. It says Bitcoin ETF holders are sitting on an average unrealized profit of 17% in the last year, dude. So as you guys know, January 2024 is when the ETFs came out here. We're a little over a year since they were out here, but to be up 17% on your investment over a year is amazing, dude. That's phenomenal. As you guys know, the average profit that you will get in any stock market is anywhere from literally like roughly 6 to 8% is your actual annual return on any investment. And that's on average. That's not saying that you're always going to get that 7 to 8% return. We're sitting on a 17% return for Bitcoin. So anyone that actually bought into an ETF as of last year is up 17%. That is phenomenal to think, right? So again, I just want to tell you the power. Again, you might be invested in XRP, you might be invested in HBAR, you might be invested in all these other cryptos. And I'm here to tell you, like, do not ever sleep on Bitcoin. I get that, like, sometimes you feel Bitcoin's overpriced. Sometimes I feel like people get a little upset that Bitcoin is volatile like it is, or that, you know, people feel that it's a scam, like all these crazy things out there. Realize that Bitcoin is literally probably the largest asset class out there right now because of all the countries and everyone talking about it. It is the untapped gold of this time. And so just put aside all the fear, all the uncertainty, all the doubt that everyone pushes out there with all the cryptos that you're invested in. Because again, someone's always going to have something to say about the crypto that you hold. Someone's going to come talk shit about XRP. Someone's going to come talk crap about Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these kind of things. Just set it aside, because realize that a lot of these top tiers are going to be here, you know, in the next 10, 15 years. But Bitcoin will always be here. I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere. We're not going to have all these companies and all these, you know, the largest companies in the world and the largest governments in the world invest in these things if it was nothing, right? So I just want to put that out there. I think these are some incredible numbers coming in here, and it's only going to get better this year. It's only going to get better. Is everyone feeling good about HBAR long term? Just need reassurance. Yeah, dude, Evan, I'm fully 100% invested in HBAR, and I think HBAR is going to do very, very well. Let's see. Just noticed I have HBAR logo. Hell yeah, dude. Well, you got to upgrade. I put down that ledger. Come to Vegas. Oh yeah, there's the isn't there an XRP event coming up here? We got Lloyd coming in hot, gifted out 5 memberships to the A team. If Lloyd gifted you a membership, please say thank you to Lloyd and those 5 new members. Welcome to the A team. Appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you so much. HBAR is a powerhouse now and in the future. I 100% agree with Tim here. Without a doubt, I think HBAR is already partnering with a lot of people. It's already going in there. It's hedging their bets with Swift. There's so much going for HBAR. It's a very, very unique blockchain. Just if you haven't ever looked up Hashgraph, just go look at what a Hashgraph is. Spend some time looking at it. Again, I'm not going to go over all the boring details of what it is, but I mean, go look at what it is and what it can provide. And no other blockchains out there, right? There's a ton of other layer 1 blockchains out there that are very similar to each other. I mean, you know, they'll all have their little differences here and there, but I mean, the Hashgraph is something completely different than any other blockchain out there. So just look up that alone, and you'll have a better sense of like what HBAR and the power behind HBAR. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see when the SEC. Hopefully, the SEC comes out today, right? Today's the actual ruling, or we'll actually hear some news coming from the SEC in regards to the case with Ripple. You guys already know that they came out and they made the announcement that they're going to be moving on, and that Ripple is going to be paying roughly $50 million or whatever it was for their fees that they'd have to pay out of the 125 or something along those lines. And so hopefully today was the day, March 27th would be the day that SEC actually comes out with a formal statement that they will be dropping everything with Ripple. So that would be a fantastic news. Does the SEC commissioner get confirmed today? I don't know if he gets confirmed today. MWO. I think that the voting goes in today. I don't know if it actually gets affirmed today, but I think he sits in front of the committee today, which is like the finance committee. He sits in front of them and they will vote today. So yeah, maybe we will find something out today. I'm not 100% sure. How does this affect Ripple IPO? I don't think it's going to affect Ripple's IPO at all. I think if anything, it's going to better it. Because again, they're gonna get the judgment that's out there and the injunction. So the biggest thing is getting the injunction dropped. As you guys know, Ripple countersued the SEC for the injunction, right? And now the goal is to get that injunction dropped. And if that happens, then it'll open up the door for an IPO later this year for sure. Are you a wrestler? What's the best exercise to build a thick neck? You got to do bridges, bro. Flow fuss, bridges, dude. Do like front bridges. Front bridging's huge, dude. And they have there's actually a machine, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a machine, the weighted machine, and you can do like head movements with it. Dude, that machine is the best, dude. Bro, bridges is how I break how you break your neck. No, do front bridges, bro. Do front, not back. Not like don't lean back. I'm talking about doing a front bridge, like put your head on the ground and like, spin, back and forth. You should be doing that every day, dude. Not a back bridge. I'm talking about a front bridge. And then off there's some neck machine, like you can do some neck machines and you can turn your head. They have those. Those are great, dude. So yeah. Also, look in here. I want to play this right here because this got me all amped up today, dude. Listening to this statement right here. I just want to give you guys a heads up. So I'm gonna play this. And I don't know if you guys saw this by Michael Saylor, but this got me all pumped up. I don't know why. I got like really pumped up over this video, and I was like, oh man, dude, I think I want to buy some more Bitcoin. Like, even though Bitcoin's my largest bag, I kind of was like, man, maybe I need to buy some more Bitcoin, dude. So let me share the tab here real quick. I hate that they do this. They make you share the tab to share the audio. It's so annoying. All right, so here we go. Let me hide this comment here. Let me know if everyone can hear this or not. Hopefully you guys can. So here we go. It's out of the way here.
Because we traded all this gold for all the European commodities and manufactured goods. The Europeans suffered a recession. America was built on the gold that the 49ers brought. And so this is the modern digital gold rush. We should just go grab the digital gold. Eventually, the rest of the world will trade all of their stuff for it. But when they buy it, they'll be buying it at 10 million a coin or 20 million a coin or 50 million a coin. And we will basically take our debt and we'll negate it. And then we'll flip to being a creditor nation. And what does it take to be rich? Well, ask Bill Gates or Steve Ballmer or Mark Zuckerberg, or Larry Page or Sergey Brin. What does it take to be rich? It just takes a little bit of vision, a little bit of conviction, and use technology, right? And so in this case, I think our country should be rich. It is rich. We're rich because we bought California for a few $1 million before people knew before they knew Hollywood or Silicon Valley would be a thing, right? And now I think we should buy cyberspace, and it's the most powerful lever imaginable because you're paying a penny to get $1, and not only are you paying a penny to get $1, but you're de-risking the thing, right? Because in the process of adopting Bitcoin as the network, you force a stampede of all of our allies, all of our frenemies, all of our enemies, and you accelerate the monetization of the network. So everybody's a winner. I mean, arguably, even the rest of the world's a winner because they're going to be better off using digital capital as a store of value than using Siberian warehouses.
Dude, I love it. So, I mean, when you think about what he's saying here, is he's basically saying that when this gets to the point, I mean, eventually there's not going to be enough Bitcoin for people to actually even mine anymore, right? When the halvings start to happen, you got to realize less and less Bitcoin over the years happens. So by 2030, they're already saying going into, so we have a halving coming up here in 2020. We had it in 2024. Now we're going to have one here in 2028. And then by 2032, there's basically not going to be enough Bitcoin at that point to be able to sustain the levels of where it's at right now. So the mining companies are going to own, this is like where you need to own Bitcoin now, Bitcoin is where anyone jumping into crypto should be buying portions of Bitcoin, because if you're talking about it being at $100,000, he's saying that in the future here, it's going to be worth 10 million, if not $20 million per one Bitcoin, because of how many people are going to own it, and then how many people are actually going to use it, and then how many people are actually going to across all nations. Like I said, are you going to invest in use Bitcoin as a set of gold, or are you going to like go invest in Siberian warehouses, which is pretty funny. But in all reality here, I'm just trying to put this out here that I think it's super important that people realize the importance of where this at. We are in a modern day digital gold rush, and I was lucky enough to buy it at $20,000 for Bitcoin. A lot of people were actually luckier than me and bought it at $1,000, $10, $100, whatever it might be. And it's crazy to even think that if I have, let's just say right now, you just do your math right now. Where's my phone? Just do your math right now. Say you have $100,000 in Bitcoin, right? Let's just say you own one Bitcoin, $80,000. You own one Bitcoin. You know what I mean? If that comes up, that one Bitcoin goes up to $10 million in the next 10 years, 10 to 20 years. You can't sit there and tell me that $80,000 that you invested in wasn't the best investment of your life. I mean, you'd be looking back going, damn, I'm so happy that I was able to spend, even if you spent even if you spent $20,000 today, right? Probably a lot of you probably have, anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 invested in some kind of investment, right? Maybe not. Maybe you're slowly building up, but I mean, whether that's through stocks, whether that's through your 401k, whether that's through Bitcoin or crypto, you have some kind of money here. But even if you think about it, if you were to buy $20,000 in Bitcoin right now, I mean, we're talking about this going to $10 million. So, I mean, you're literally owning, was that 1/4? So you're roughly down to almost $2.5 million that you would own here in the next 10 years based off of what Saylor is saying here. And again, you have to believe it, right? If you don't believe it, then you're not going to buy it. And a lot of people out here don't believe it, because a lot of people out here also said that Bitcoin wouldn't get to $100,000. When it was $1, no one said it was going to get to $100. Then when it was $100, everyone doubted it getting to $1,000. Now we're sitting here at almost, reaching over $100,000, and people are still doubting that. People are coming out here saying that it's going to get to $10 million. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but in all reality, Bitcoin has not failed us. Bitcoin price has not failed us at all. In any way. You go back and look at all the hit throughout the history of Bitcoin, it's never failed us in any way, shape, or form. It's one of the only assets that continually goes up in price, exponentially, and the pricing on it is actually gone insane. I mean, it's huge it's huge on how far it's actually gone. Please just get off the stage. Bitcoin should reach millions per coin one day. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think that it's not going to. Guys, company is literally losing money year after year. Doesn't matter, dude. I mean, he's invested. I mean, he's always buying the top of the Bitcoin market, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. He's always buying the top of Bitcoin, which always blows my mind. But teach our own on that. So one cool thing here too is I wanted to bring this up here. I brought this up on my last stream. Had to have been, what was that, Tuesday, I think it was, talking about the stable coins. As you guys know, Trump dropped his stable coin coming out with World Liberty, and you can see a lot more people are actually out there dropping stable coins that are backed by US dollar, backed by gold, whatever it might be. And you're going to start seeing this. And you can see JP Morgan predicts that stablecoins can grow from 6% to 50% of the market, driving. So I already said this to you guys, and I'm going to say it again. The way these stablecoins are going, this is the way for institutions to do. I know we went away from CBDCs and the discussions of CBDCs, and the administration's kind of gone away from, putting out CBDCs. I feel like the stablecoin era that's coming through right now, with everyone dropping stablecoins, is kind of creating their own CBDC. I know that that's not a sexy word to be said. I know people get a little bent out of shape about that, but give me another reason as to why we need so many stablecoins. A stablecoin is meant to, put your assets into and obviously stabilize your profits without having to actually trade it into a fiat. However, if everyone's out there dropping stablecoins for people to not leave their network, I mean, you're kind of acting as if it's a CBDC in some way, some shape, some form. And that's kind of where I feel like I keep thinking about it. Let me know your thoughts, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts on where you guys are thinking when it comes to the growth of these stable coins coming out here. Ripple has transitioned back to institutional sales. Retail has lucky to buy in, but will not increase Ripple. Yeah, I like the THCs versus the CBDCs. Yeah, it could easily touch 80K again. Let's see here. I know Bitcoin is actually a good price now to buy. Do you think it will drop back down to 80,000? It very well could, stop sign. I'm not saying it couldn't. I mean, this market's so unpredictable here. But even if I were to buy anything I'm buying right now, I'm not even sweating it. Even if it goes back down, like if I buy Bitcoin at 87,000 right now and it goes back down to 80,000, I know that eventually this thing is going to go back up. I mean, this will eventually go back up in price. I mean, it's never failed us before. Like, yeah, you might have to go through some years of, you could go into something like this right here, which is like a year of being in the dumpster, right? Where your money doesn't actually go anywhere, right? It's been sideways trading. You could do something like what we had right here. I mean, a lot of people bought into Bitcoin at $62,000. This thing was going nuts. A lot of people bought right here around $62,000. You can see the line that we put right there. That was probably, I don't know when we put that there, but that 62,000 was there for quite some time. You got to think basically from March 2024 all the way until October 2024, which is like 9 to 10 months, this thing traded sideways. Like you basically, if you put $100,000 in there, you're going anywhere from 90,000 one day to maybe 105,000 one day, back down, up and down. And so for basically almost a whole year, you were like, "Hey, dude, I haven't made anything. It's just been sideways trading," which is again, you don't want to be waking up every day looking at your portfolio, especially because it kind of makes you a little sad, annoyed, pissed off, mad, whatever it might be. But realize that the people that actually bought right here are now up a pretty good amount. They waited that year to be up roughly 40% up on their investment right now. This thing shot up almost 100% on their investment. So they waited out that and they turned their $100,000 into $200,000. So, I mean, is that worth it to you? I mean, to go up 100% in a year, that's pretty damn good, dude. If you go back and you even look at these years down here, right? Let's just say that you bought over here and you bought right here at $29,000. And you watch this thing go down all the way down to where it was here, roughly about, where was it at? Roughly about 48%, right? From here to here was a 48% decrease in your value. So you put $100,000 down, you watched your money go all the way down to $50,000, but you didn't sell, right? You held on to it. Now you're sitting down here, right? We're going back up. You bought it at 30,000, right? 30,000. Now you're sitting up roughly almost 224% on one of the largest assets in the world if you didn't sell it. So regardless, I mean, this chart has always done that before. Nothing here, and you never see where this has actually been a rug pull. You want to see a rug pull, just go look at the meme coins that are out there. We could pull up a ton of meme coins that have, promised the world and have come back and been complete rugs, now, right? And this actually continually goes up in price. It's never been like a complete rug pull. This will continue to go up like the NASDAQ, dude, like the S&P 500. I mean, you go back and you look at these charts, right? We can go back and look at the S&P 500. Bitcoin follows the S&P 500 and everything there. You don't see this going down. This is the same chart you see with Bitcoin. This will be, again, what we see with Bitcoin. We're not going to see, we might see some dips and some valleys, but we're not going to see something like this. Let's go back and actually look at give me a rug pull out there. Well, there's probably a ton of rug pulls out there. What's a good one? Let's go look at shit. Let's look at SafeMoon. SafeMoon, right? SafeMoon's a big one, right? Oh, maybe that's an old one. Look at that. That's a rug pull, guys. That's a rug pull, right? Comes all the way up here, comes back down. Nothing ever happens again. That's a rug pull. You don't see this with Bitcoin. You don't see this with these top tier assets, right? This comes down. Look at that, dude. Compared to this over the years, this will continue to rise over and over and over again. It will continue to rise all the way up. I can't stress it enough to you. There's nothing here that says that this is going to rug pull out and you're going to lose 100% of your value. Even through the worst time of crypto when FTX came and all that kind of crazy stuff happened, this still pulled out and still made money for a lot of people. So when I will invest in CDs again, we were just talking about this the other day, CDs. I'm bullish and I'm bearish on Bitcoin and the alts. Yeah, I'm not bearish at all, dude. We got a lot of good things coming here. BTC is literally a giant distraction. The rich don't tell normal folks the secret to taking away their wealth. Here's another good video by Michael Saylor here. I think it's important that you guys see this right here. It says Michael Saylor's masterclass on Bitcoin volatility. You got to watch this. If you haven't seen this one here, this is another really, really good video to watch. I'm going to play it right now because it's a really good, this is Paul. It's a perfect of what you're saying here. I think it's a perfect segue of what you just said here. So let me go share screen here. Let's go. Oops. Let's go Chrome tab. So let's see what they say here real quick. Hold on. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear this one as well. Let's get playing here. This is a perfect example of where we're at. And again, this should get you a little amped up. Oops.
Volatility was a gift to the faithful. It scares away the tourist. It scares away the lazy. It scares away the people that are already conventionally rich, that have all the money. If you're a 20-something or a 30-something and you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to spend 100 hours or 200 hours, if you have more time than money, then the volatility of Bitcoin is a gift to you. If you have more money than time and you're arrogant and egotistical and you just pick the obvious, then if the volatility goes away, you buy Bitcoin. If people in the rest of the world knew what I know and they understood and they agreed with me, Bitcoin would go to $10 million tomorrow. And if Bitcoin went to $10 million tomorrow, I want you to think about how you would feel and how your viewers would feel, because you would lose 20 years of stacking opportunity during which you get to buy at less than $10 million. So the difference between $10 million and 100,000, that's what you give up if the volatility goes away and people start to agree with you.
So I don't know if that made sense to you guys, but he's basically saying that the volatility scares away most people. The volatility scares away the Warren Buffetts of the world, the rich and the arrogant, the Bill Gates of the world, and everyone else that's not going to invest in it because of, it's fool's gold. It scares away all those people. So volatility scares away the lazy. It scares away people that are fearful of it or easily persuade in some way. And but the great thing about volatility is that it allows you to accumulate as much Bitcoin before it reaches levels. Because like you said, it's great. What if Bitcoin did hit $10 million where tomorrow? Let's just say that boom, Bitcoin hit $10 million tomorrow. How would you feel right now? A majority of you would be pissed. A majority of you would be so upset, and you'd come back to this channel and you would say, man, I remember when I could have bought Bitcoin for $80,000. I remember when I could have bought these things for this. And I remember, you still do it today, right? All of us say, man, I remember when I first heard about Bitcoin, it was $100. I remember when we first were talking about Bitcoin, it was $1,000. And then we all look back going, crap, I wish I would have bought that when I first heard about it, or first heard, my neighbor or my coworker or whoever it was that was talking about Bitcoin at that time. Now we're talking about $80,000 and everyone's going, that's too expensive. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. But if you wake up tomorrow and you had that opportunity to buy Bitcoin at $80,000 and it's now worth 10 million, how would you feel today? And the question is, a majority of you, 99.99% of you, including myself, would say, I didn't buy enough. I didn't buy enough. And even though I'm very happy with my bag of Bitcoin, I still would wake up and probably say I didn't buy enough. And I guess that's kind of where it's at, is that Bitcoin has always shown time and time again that it's always going to go up in price. So, regardless of the dips, regardless of the volatility, nothing has ever shown an indication since it launched over the last, 15, 16 years now, nothing has shown us that it's going to actually be a rug pull like I showed you before. And so everyone out there that's preaching that this is bad, that Bitcoin sucks, it has no use case. Well, where was all that 16 years ago? All that, they've been saying that for 16 years and it hasn't taken the price down, hasn't obliterated the project of Bitcoin or what Bitcoin's doing. So, it's just crazy to me that people still to this day that jump into crypto are still, they're still, I guess you could say, they don't believe that Bitcoin is what it is. And it kind of blows my mind. Dave, dude, what's up, man? Dave's dog Zoe, appreciate the $5 super chat here. St. Louis Dave, what is the software you use for the taxes and trading? I use cointracker.io. Cointracker.io. That's what I use, bud. Austin, didn't Saylor say he will burn his keys? Yeah, he said that he's going to burn all of his Bitcoin. Yeah, that's correct. He did. So he owns what, 2.4% of the Bitcoin supply, and he said upon his death he would burn it all, dude. So yeah, I just think again, it shouldn't be a matter of like I need to go buy $100,000 in Bitcoin today. It should be a matter of like I'm just going to purchase what I can afford, what I can put through, just like you would in a 401k. Everyone has a 401k. Most people go to their 401k and they buy, $100, $200. I don't know how much comes out of your guys' paycheck, but I mean, some people, $500, whatever the percentages that you put across there. I'm trying to say that these ETFs that we're seeing out here are the same thing. These ETFs right here are the same exact boat. You got to go out there. You got to, set it and forget it, dude. When it comes to Bitcoin, I'm telling you guys right now. Whether it's, $50, $25 a month, $100 a month, whatever you can do. I mean, I've been telling you guys this Bitcoin will always be that, right? So, oops, let me remove this real quick. Why will not remove? All right. Stop screen. There we go. I couldn't, for some reason, it would not stop the screen. Just look at everywhere. Hero Trump coin still owns SafeMoon. Gosh, dang, bro. That's wild. That's wild, dude. Austin said pulled out. Stupid. Said wants one coin though, and even he said it's a red flag right there. Can't figure out how to add bank account to the Pure Wallet. You got to do it through Transact, Ash. I think Transact does. I haven't actually done it on the Pure Wallet. Yeah, so someone brought up the whole Pure Wallet thing. Yeah, Pure Wallet's still out there for pre-sale. Pure Wallet's still developing. Pure Wallet is, they're going to the Bitcoin conference here in May, which will be awesome. And they are going to the Dubai. 100% confirmed that the Pure chain will be launching, which is a mineable crypto. The Pure Wallet will be the interface for it. I'm super excited where Pure Wallet's at. They're working on a dark mode right now. You guys were all requesting dark mode for Pure Wallet. They obviously heard. Boom, we got a Pure Wallet dark mode coming in. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but Pure Wallet's looking pretty solid right now. They're doing a lot of things to update it for the Bitcoin conference coming up. So pretty excited about that. I think Bitcoin will fail and won't be able to get back up. You think so? They haven't shown anything for that, Nick. I don't trust the guy that benefits the most from us buying something. Yeah, I still think it's still think it's really good. You got BlackRock up here buying it. You got a lot of people that are buying these things. You can see right now that the average return right now is 17%. You can't beat that. That's kind of where it's at right here. And here's also the other cycles of this, right? The Bitcoin market cycles are insane. So 2014 to 2017, obviously Trump was right here. This is the Trump bull run right here. Then you had right here, which was the 2018 through 2021 cycle. We had a bull run right here. Now we're going through the 2022, 2025 cycle. And here is the next phase right here. So anyone out there telling you guys that we're not in a bull market or that we are, going to collapse or whatever it might be, that we're in a recession, so on and so forth, they're full of shit, dude. They don't know what they're talking about. I had my father on here who was obviously, intertwined with what's going on in the world. I mean, he teaches economics, he teaches finance. Obviously that's the person I'm going to listen to the most here. And I do believe throughout the years, we've talked about this multiple times on this channel, is that when everyone's barking recession, the bottom's already in. Just realize that when everyone's barking recession, the bottom's already in. The only time that someone was actually barking a recession, the bottom was in, is when we had a massive pandemic that was unplanned, and it was a global pandemic. You can't plan for that. So you have these one-off things that happened back here in 2019, which again you can see right here was a bull market phase one, and we had this massive cliff that happened here because of the pandemic, right? But we built out of that significantly, and here we are. We're in this another phase right here, which we've done very, very well. Now we're in the bull market phase two here, and as you guys know, these cycles will repeat themselves every single time. But like I said, we are going to have probably 2+ rate cuts this year. If we get a rate cut this year, just here, like I told you, I think May we're going to have a 0.25 basis point. We're probably going to have one in August and or September, and then we could have one at the end of the year. You never know, but they're talking about a 2 to 3 rate cuts this year. Originally, where it was only going to be 2, but when those rate cuts hit, and when a tax package actually hits the market as well, just realize that things are going to go crazy when it comes to the markets. Things will go nuts. And right now is the time to accumulate as much crypto as possible. I don't know how else to say it. I've been saying it all the time on stream, all the time on camera. I've been telling you guys, accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. I get that some of us are tapped out. I get that some of us have spent, they like, I've kept buying the dip. I kept buying the dip. Just realize you've been accumulating. So as much as buying the dips haven't worked out for you, you've been accumulating. As long as you haven't been selling and you've just been accumulating, this will pan out for you when the time comes. None of us know when the time comes. I mean, we could say that probably here, end of Q3 is probably the time. 10 years from now, Austin, you say, F it, should have bought about Jasmine. What's up, Seagulls? Yeah, right. I should have. Man, people like Jasmine. After hearing this, I'm gonna load up on Terrarium. Oh my god, bro. How do I get back in the chat? You gotta go back in and probably click the rules again, dude. Adam, go back to the rules, select the rules again, and go that way. That's a play on people's FOMO, and I don't like rich dudes like this guy feeding off people's FOMO. People should but I guess I play it because I think it's a good. He brings up good points, right? And it makes you think. So just like don't listen to what he like. Don't listen to it's coming from Michael Saylor, but just listen to what he's saying about it, and then go apply it to what you see in the charts here. And like I've told you before, if you go back and you look at the history of Bitcoin, where has Michael Saylor been wrong in the history of Bitcoin? Right? It's obviously continually gone up. We know that it's become scarce over the years. We know that the halving is going to make it even more scarce. So where inside the fundamentals of Bitcoin has he been wrong? And I get don't listen to it because he's rich or anything like that. Just listen to the fundamental side of it. And if you can apply the fundamentals of what's going on, or at least understand to some degree what the fundamentals could be, then I don't think it's that crazy. I don't think it's that crazy at all. You never hear the ultra rich of the world leaders telling people like us the actual truth. Yeah, it's true. Now people get a little. I had to rejoin. Damn it. Yeah, rejoin, dude. Coin Tracker integrated better. Yeah. Coin Tracker is 10 times better than anything else. Well, 401k is whatever my parents leave me. Wife and I are headed to PCB in April for a week. What are the odds I can take my eyes off the charts for a week? I know that's tough, Joe. You gotta make sure you just touch some grass, dude. I stepped away this last week. I had to recharge, man. I was so tapped out with trading and everything going on, and just all the ups and downs with Trump and with the markets and everything like that. I had to take a step away. I didn't stream for 5-6 days, and I literally didn't go on the internet. I didn't do anything, dude. I just set aside my thing, focused on family, went out there, played soccer with the kids, and just touched grass for 5 days, dude, 6 days without even I didn't even talk to anyone, nothing. And I came back ready to rock and roll, dude. I feel after you do that, you're gonna come back and okay, it's time to go again. And that's where I'm at right now. It's time to go. I'm excited, dude. I got my energy back, and we're here ready for the next wave of what's coming. So don't believe this guy will burn his coins, he and his family. We'll see what happens, right? I guess he'll have to put his money where his mouth is. He'll have to put his money where his mouth is on that. Panama City Beach. PCB. Yeah, Panama City Beach. That's supposed to be Florida, right? Panama City. Why does Pure Wall at the setup show the British flag? Oh, it's probably because it's English, Taz. English. They're saying English. What can you say to people that can't afford even to buy one Bitcoin? Should I still start? Yeah, dude. You don't need to own one Bitcoin, dude. Even if you own a percentage of the Bitcoin, $5,000, $1,000, start somewhere. You know what I mean? Even if you own, whatever it might be, just start somewhere. You don't have to own a whole amount of it. I mean, just think about it. If it goes up, if we're sitting here at, let's just say that you put $10,000 into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin goes from $80,000 to $800,000 per coin, you just 10x your investment, right? So now you went from $10,000 to $100,000 on the top asset in the world, one of the top assets in the world. That's a pretty damn good return, right? So you don't always have to have one Bitcoin to know that you're accumulating. What's up, Dale? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, what's up, Taz? Good to see you, man. Now that is something here in Austria is definitely different. We have to pay Social Security, which takes about 15% of your. So we pay Social Security here too. I don't know about 15% of your salary, but yeah, we pay a pretty good amount here as well. The angry Austin. I'm not. BlackRock doesn't buy BTC. That retail investors buying. Yeah, it's people saying BlackRock buying, misleading the masses. It's BlackRock buying. I mean, it's coming through their ETF, right? So BlackRock is buying. That could be misleading to some degree. I would agree. This is actually coming through. What they're doing is they're buying. So BlackRock buys the Bitcoin that's going to be actually Coinbase is the custodian of the Bitcoin, of which then the retail investors are purchasing from them, right? So again, whether that's over the counter, whatever it might be, but BlackRock is buying the Bitcoin that then the retail investors are purchasing, right? So, and how that works with Coinbase and BlackRock, I have no idea. Probably an over the counter purchase, and it's definitely who knows what the pricing is on it. Appreciate you, Seika. Yeah, I'm pretty far behind on the chat right now. Could let's see here. Do you feel that the market will go lower Wednesday once the tariffs go live? It could. I'm not sweating it though. Like I said, I'm just going to continue to accumulate where I need to accumulate, and I'm not going to sweat the long term. Could it go lower? Yeah, it could, but I'm not going to worry about it. Now, if you're leverage trading and stuff like that, different story, right? If you're buying to hold and hold for a while, like it shouldn't concern you that much, right? But if you are buying to swing trade or buying on leverage, yeah, you should probably feel the pulse of the market a little bit more. Well, I think he's created the platform that he's created to be able to get out to the masses, right? And at one point, he probably was in a smaller area, but yeah, you probably wouldn't. I mean, yeah, to answer your question, you probably would. You probably wouldn't listen to people. Unfortunately, people don't listen to people that aren't prestigious to some degree, right? So yeah, you have to create your platform. You got to create your audience, and he's definitely created his audience, dude. No, I'm not saying that there's only one coin, but I'm saying that Bitcoin's going to do really, really well. I think that like Ripple and XRP and what those things are doing are helping create avenues for other people to move things across a blockchain at a faster speed. So let's just take Bitcoin, for instance. I mean, you can wrap Bitcoin on the XRP ledger and move it across and convert it back to Bitcoin, right? So you could do those things. I think that's super important. Yeah, I think it could rise. I think it XRP could do really, really well. Again, the only thing with XRP is, I mean, it's not a mineable crypto. There's a large supply. But that could definitely go up in price for sure. Just it has a totally different set of economics to it. I mean, it really does. I mean, they're two totally different cryptos doing two totally different things. So, but I definitely think XRP is going to do well, without question. Because the English created the English language. What better, bro? 1K BTC or 1K XRP investment? It's tough to say, but I mean, I think right now, like with XRP being, I mean, I would do both, dude. I would probably split it, dude. I put 500 in BTC and 500 XRP, but XRP has been a very strong crypto this year. It's outperformed Bitcoin. It's outperformed a lot of cryptos. XRP is looking phenomenal still. Even their charts right now are looking really, really good. I mean, let's not put away Bitcoin here. I mean, or what XRP has been able to do. It's trading sideways right now, and it's been the strongest chart in crypto. So, XRP is still a really, really good area right now, without question. That's on the weekly. Let's go to the day chart. Yeah, it's come down slightly over the day. It's probably going to come down just a little bit more. We'll probably maybe come back down to 220. It could come back down to 225 again. I mean, by April, it could come back down, hit this 225 area again for sure. But it's just sideways trade. It's all accumulation right here. Why do you like CoinTracker versus Coinly? Just because I've used it for so long. That's why I like CoinTracker. Kevin, thanks so much for the 499 super chat here. If you had enough cash to buy a whole Bitcoin, would you at its current price? I have 15K, and would I buy that? If I had extra cash on the side, would I buy Bitcoin where it's at? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I probably would. Like I said, I mean, if I had that money, I would have definitely bought back over here. When we were talking about the 80,000 marker, I probably would have purchased there 100% if I set aside the money for it. I haven't added. I've been focused on HBAR, XRP, XLM, Chainlink. I actually haven't added any more Bitcoin. I probably should. That's why I said I woke up like feeling like I should have bought some more Bitcoin, right? When it came down here, but I was focused on, buying other cryptos when it came down to these levels down here. When this came back down, I was like, oh crap, I should buy some more XRP. I should buy some more HBAR. I definitely, buy some more Chainlink. And so I didn't actually allocate any money to Bitcoin at this price. But yeah, I mean, that's 80,000 marker was a pretty good buy, I think. I mean, was this the bottom? Yeah, I think this could have been the bottom of the cycle, but I mean, we could come down again after these tariffs. I don't know. These tariffs are like a wild card, dude. I think everyone knows that by now. These tariffs are an absolute wild card. And I don't know what's going to happen. Anytime we talk about tariffs, the markets just do not do well. So it's really hard to say when to actually buy. Payday tomorrow? Hell yeah, dude. Michael Saylor talking about burning keys is literally insane. That would be pretty crazy. He's never been poor. Saylor just wanted to pump his bags. Do you think it's set up for the ultimate rug pull? You think so? XRP just can't go up. It seems to be declining every day. No, the XRP has been doing. I mean, I think it's been flatline, dude. When you got to think from this area right here on December 3rd all the way to here, we're still trading on the same line. We're still trading at 250 to 225. I mean, we're right in between here. This is an accumulation phase right here. 100% accumulation phase. You got all Bitcoin maxes on us. You got a hold on you. Michael Saylor's Rothschild experiment. You think so? It's funny. I love hearing this. It's actually pretty funny. 2.25 looks like the next stop. Yeah, very well could. Need the Austin fan crypto remix. What's up, Deb? Let's see, Austin. I was thinking of not taking profits. I mean, it all depends on where you bought, right, and where you're at. If you're up 1,000% on your investment in this bull run, you would be an idiot not to take even if you're up 500% on investment, you'd be an idiot not to take like some kind of return. You know what I mean? If you think the market's going to go back down, U.S. government is a wild card, dude. It's hard to judge. How's my GF at the gas station? I haven't seen her yet, man. I haven't seen her yet. I need an American car now. I think everyone wants to pump their bags. Yes, I would agree with you, DP. Held up. Well, actually, XRP has performed better than Bitcoin this cycle for sure. Like, without question, it's done really well. Yeah, it's definitely chilling. So someone asked about white papers. Is there a specific white paper you want me to look at, Crypto Keeper? I could look at a white paper for you if you want to give me one. Give me a project. I'll look at their white paper. I mean, really, when it comes down to, you want to look at the tokenomics of it. Is there going to be locked liquidity? For me, like, locked liquidity is huge for any new cryptos coming out here, any new launches, any new projects. Like, if they're not locking their liquidity, like, I won't touch it. Because if you unlock liquidity or allow for there to be unlocking of liquidity, it's just going to create the rug pulls. All the rug pulls you see out there is because liquidity got unlocked and they were able to literally rug the project. That means that the dev was able to take the liquidity, which is your guys' money, and be able to take it, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so that's where I get a little bit like, hey, it's nice to have things locked away. People can even look at, like, right here, right? Ripple will unlock 1 billion XRP on April 1st. Like, if a meme coin or a new project launched and they were able to unlock 1 billion of their project April 1st, how that project would literally tank overnight, because when you unlock a significant portion of a project, it allows people to sell it on the open market, allows people to move it, allows them to do a lot of things. And so, like, that's the number one thing I look for in any new project or any new white paper out there is, where is the liquidity going? How much is it? How much are they allocating towards liquidity? And then also, what are they going to be doing with the liquidity? So that's kind of where I'm at with it, to be honest with you. Let's see here. It looks like the white paper from Alf, they have a 9-year lock. Yeah, so in 9 years, everyone's going to have to, wonder what's going to happen in the 9 years. But I mean, for the meantime, it should do okay. Hey, bud, I know you said you don't stake usually, but you delegate it all. I'm trying to flare. Yeah, you could. I mean, there's an easy. You could delegate if you'd like. Just make sure, Ziegel. So I talk about staking. I talk about all this kind of stuff. When it comes to staking, the only thing that I want to avoid is to where they hold your funds and you can't access those funds for a significant period of time. So again, you could delegate and or you can stake, but just make it to where you can actually get that back at any given time. If you can't, I wouldn't do it. Even if it's for like a 14-day hold or a 15-day hold or a 20-day hold, because what happens is if something goes down or something goes sideways, they're holding your crypto, right? So I don't like that. Obviously, I have PTSD from the FTX fiasco, but still, that's kind of where it's at. When is your next jam, Austin? I suggest a rap jam with you and your dad. Do you think XRP looks like it might be in a unicorn phase, waiting to break out? I mean, anytime that you build a platform, you break back out. Let's just take XRP where we're at right now. We're on the day chart right here. Let's go to the weekly chart. Look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart looks really good, right? You're building a nice little platform. Let's go back and look at Bitcoin. Last time it did this. Last time it traded sideways, look what happened with Bitcoin. Boom, did really well. Anytime that they start building platforms, they do well. This is a bear market. This is obviously when Ukraine and them went to war. All this, like right here, is when Ukraine and them went to war. Then you had the FTX fiasco, Luna fiasco. So like all this was created because of that, right? But you could see right here that you traded sideways basically from May 2021 all the way until about July of 2021. So almost 3 months of trading sideways before we went back up. We traded almost a year of trading sideways right here before we went back up. So you can go look at these things, and I think that XRP is in the same boat now. We came up, we're starting to create a nice little platform before us to carry to the next level, which I always said is trying to get to that 385 mark. So what do you think about SUI token? Dude, I love SUI. I think SUI is going to do really, really well. As far as Walrus goes, I have no idea, but I mean, I think that the new SUI token Walrus, I have no idea. It's going to do well for SUI. I mean, if people buy into Walrus, it's going to be really good for it's going to do really good for SUI. So that's why it's important to hold SUI. The gambler. I'm not going to read your comment out loud. Should we still be buying XRP now or wait till April? I said $2.25 to $2 is kind of like my area of accumulation. That's kind of where I'll stick to. So if it drops back down into that area, I'll probably accumulate some more. Have you heard of the new project Gun on Binance Launch Pool? I have not. Best regards from Sweden. Hell yeah, dude. Sweden. I'm a strong believer in XRP. Nice, dude. ADA, Doge, BTC. Love it. Thoughts on Digibyte? I probably wouldn't touch Digibyte at this point. I probably wouldn't touch Digipoint. XRP feels like sitting like a time bomb and could explode. I'm with you, dude. Here could easily 10x. Yeah, it puts that 20. I mean, like I said, even if it gets back up to our $7, I mean, $7 puts it at roughly what, 2, 4, 6. It puts us at 3x. I mean, that's a really, really good return for a lot of people, especially if you've been accumulating. So maybe I'm late. Have you already pointed out your visions or future on the Pure Wallet site? That's cool. Also, congrats on approaching 100K. I appreciate you, dude. But your videos are featured on the Pure Wallet site. Yeah, they took my videos that I put out there. I did see that they had the videos up there. So yeah, appreciate that. They can put my videos. If they want to push my videos, I'm down for it. Push my videos. Yeah. Then appreciate that. Yeah, almost to 100K. We're getting there. Can we add maple syrup? Yeah, I saw the maple syrup thing. That's pretty funny. You guys are funny, dude. But that's kind of the thing when it comes to the tokenomics of it. I want to go back to the comment here by Crypto Keeper to go over white papers. If you gave me a white paper, I'd go over it with you. But really what I'm looking for is where's the allocations for the tokenomics of it? Like where on the pre-sales are they going to go? Stuff like that. I think that's super important. And then obviously the biggest thing for me is liquidity. That's the biggest thing is where's the liquidity going? Because I've been in too many projects where liquidity has been unlocked or people had access to liquidity and they were able to just completely rug pull the project. And I think that's just such a crappy thing. So $2. Thanks so much for the $2 super chat here. Stake funding. There you go, Ziegles. Stake funding. You're not on Submoji ding ding. Yeah, it's okay. What do you think about ETH? Yeah, hit that like button, by the way. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to. I guess I probably should put it on subscriber mode. I'll just do it anyways. I always forget to do that. It's the worst thing in the world. But yeah, 743 viewing, 156 likes. Need to fix the A team. Yeah, it's all good. I've been a little bit behind the 8 ball. So my streaming has been a little off. Obviously, I've taken some days off, all that good stuff. So let's see here. 31K climbing. Brad Garland has Michael Saylor and Charles Hawkins starring in a remake of 31K HBAR climbing. Hell yeah, dude. 31K HBAR is really good. Yeah, HBAR, sitting here, it's sitting sideways, it's filled up this fair value gap right here on the weekly, which is good, right? This is a good weekly fair value gap. You can see right here, right? The further you zoom out, the further you go out, like I'm on the weekly chart right here, this is a pretty good fair value gap right here. We can go to the day chart here. Still another fair value gap that's filled up right here, but it's looking good on the weekly. Filled this fair value gap up, and now we could have a chance to climb back up to our levels right here. So that's kind of where we're at with at least HBAR. XLM, again, on the weekly, filled up a big fair value gap here that we're at. This is really, really good for XLM, I think, to fill up this gap. Now you can actually start to climb back up here. XRP did the same thing, right? We came down on the weekly and filled up half of this gap. Usually we fill up about half of it. We came all the way down here to about $1.80 to fill up some of the gap and climb back out of it. So things are looking pretty damn good. HBAR or XRP or Bitcoin did the same thing. Filled up a fair value gap at 76, and now we're working back out. So yeah, looking good. I'm excited with where we're going here. Why does Robinhood? I don't know why Robinhood doesn't trade it. I don't think that's a path to pure communism, dude. If it's on a global scale, there's no way. Austin today is baseball talk. Start of season. Go Mariners. Mariners are looking like booty, bro. Mariners look like booty. They look like booty. But all right, guys, with all that, I'm going to hop off here. I got some things that I got to get to a kids conference today. We got a conference I got to run over to. Got conferences this week for all the kids. So yeah, it's going to be quite fun, but I got to run over to those. I do appreciate everyone coming on here and kicking it with me tonight. Or kicking with me today, talking about crypto, just talking about Bitcoin and the power of Bitcoin and where it's going to be. And I guess I'm just trying to reiterate that, crypto is going to do well. You guys, anyone that's out there that's dogging crypto, they just don't know. They just don't know. So keep your head up. Although the markets are up and down, although the tariff talks are out there, just keep your head up, keep accumulating. Because in a year from now, we're going to look back at this video and we're going to say, damn, dude, I'm so glad that we did, because typically we, a lot of us have a little bit of fear and don't want to actually purchase in these markets or accumulate in these markets because they have the fear that things are going to fall out. But, history has not shown us that. And I think we're all going to be looking back and feeling a little bit better here in the next coming months. So with all that, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Love you guys a ton. With all that, we're out. Peace out, everyone.